back. Burst pipe in To Kwa Wan caused traffic chaos in the district for most of the day. It was the second such incident in 3 weeks in that area. The Water Supplies Department has warned the problem may happen again because of aging pipes. Jenny Lam reports.
The burst pipe was at the junction of Ma Ta Wai Road and Chi Kang Street. Salt water started gushing out of the 15-inch diameter pipe at about 4 a.m., tearing up the road service. A section of Ma Ta Wai Road was closed to Kwun Tong-bound traffic and vehicles were diverted to a back street. Part of the fast lane for traffic heading towards Tsim Sha Tsui also had to be closed. Emergency repair works were carried out and the road was fully reopened to traffic in the late afternoon. Residents of the area complained that they had to walk the extra distance to their bus stops. This lad gave up on public transport altogether and walked to school. This was the second time in 3 weeks that a burst pipe disrupted traffic flow on Ma Ta Wai Road, and the two locations are quite a distance apart. A Water Supplies Department engineer, Lam Wai Kay, says aging pipes could be part of the problem and traffic diversions put in place to facilitate the construction of the MTR's Sha Tin to Central link may have added extra load on the pipes, he added. The Water Supplies Department is gradually replacing old pipes with new ones while the construction is underway, and the replacement is expected to be finished by the end of the year. Members of the Kowloon City District Council's Traffic and Transport Committee will meet with government officials this week to discuss how to deal with problems related to the burst pipes. Jenny Lam, TVB News.
The Legislative Council will continue to scrutinize the stamp duty amendment bill tomorrow. A survey carried out by the Chinese University has found that most people are in favor of tough measures to control housing prices. Jenny Lam again.
Property agents have been voicing their opposition to property cooling measures, saying they have resulted in a sharp fall in property transactions and a big reduction in their income. Researchers at the Chinese University asked 821 adults what they thought about the measures. 63% were in favor of tough new measures, such as the special stamp duty and buyer's stamp duty. 14% thought the policies should be even tougher. 13% thought the special stamp duty should be lower, and only 4% thought it should be scrapped. 45% of the respondents did not agree that Hong Kong-owned companies, charity organisations and commercial property buyers should be exempted from special stamp duty or the double stamp duty. 23% thought they should. Are these tough measures effective in cooling housing prices? Half of those asked thought so. 40% said the effect was minimal, and nearly 90% thought housing prices are still too high. The researchers believe that explains why most people they asked thought the special stamp duty should stay, and why 40% thought the policies aren't doing much to bring down housing prices. They expect prices will shoot up if the measures are less tough, something they say the general public would not like to see. Jenny Lam, TVB News.
A new study has found that more than 1/3 of the cigarettes consumed right here in Hong Kong are illicit. That's prompting calls for stronger government efforts to fight the problem of cigarette smuggling. Ronnie Samtani has more details.
Customs officers seized more than 8,000 illicit cigarettes between 2010 and 2012. But a recent study conducted by Oxford Economics shows that the problem of cigarette smuggling may be bigger than first thought. Last year, approximately 1.8 billion cigarettes consumed in Hong Kong were illicit. The group believes the problem was the result of steep tax increases between 2009 and 2011.
When you have these big hikes in taxes and prices, so prices now over 60% higher than in 2009, and then when you have this situation where the cost of a packet of cigarettes in Hong Kong is so much higher than in neighbouring countries, it creates a profit incentive for smugglers to bring in cigarettes from cheaper sources and sell them in the market without paying tax.
The study found that Hong Kong has the second worst cigarette smuggling problem in Asia, behind Brunei. Cooper says the illegal trade cost the government a $3.3 billion loss in tax revenue. He said that's enough to provide more than 150,000 working poor families $20,000 a year. And there are now calls to get more government departments involved.
It is unfair to expect that the Customs and Excise Department can solve this problem alone. A multi-agency response is required. The government has done it before to all sorts of problems, and I don't think it is reasonable to expect the Customs, albeit that they are the lead enforcement agency, to do it by themselves. The police have to help. Maybe the health authorities have to help too.
The maximum penalty for cigarette smuggling is 7 years in jail and a maximum of a $2 million fine. But so far, the highest sentence that has been given is a 1-year jail term. Ronnie Samtani, TVB News.
All right, Chris, over to you for a look at today's sports.
And into Europe we go. A look at some of last night's key Champions League results. Barcelona beat 10-man Celtic 1-0 in Glasgow. Arsenal once again looked impressive, thanks largely to new signing Mesut Ozil. He scored in a 2-0 win over Napoli. And Chelsea won their first group match, Ramirez tallying twice in a 4-0 thrashing of Steaua Bucharest. Let's hear now from the winning managers.
The Champions League is our competition, but at the same time, I think they also is the way they can grow up faster, is to be faced with that pressure. I'm happy because they cope very, very well, and of course we played very good football in attacking areas.
Very enjoyable game tonight with a fantastic first half. Played at a great pace with belief, authority in our game, great finishing, great movement, and overall. That's the game we want to see. Second half was a bit more handbrakeish, a bit more cautious, but we played more not to make a mistake than to score.
Now turning to the baseball playoffs, the Pittsburgh Pirates' turnaround season continues. Catcher Russell Martin belted 2 home runs to lead the Pirates over the Cincinnati Reds in the National League wildcard game. Here's Alan Booknia.
1992, the last time Pittsburgh played 500 baseball and made it to the postseason, until this year. Led by all-star outfielder Andrew McCutchen and a supporting cast including mid-season acquisition Marlon Byrd, who hit a solo home run against the Reds, Pittsburgh has been roaring again. Still in the second inning, the Pirates doubled their lead when Russell Martin went deep against Cincinnati starter Johnny Cueto. Lefty Francisco Liriano was dominant for the home team. He gave up just 1 run over 7 innings. Martin did it again in the 7th.
That ball is absolutely launched into the Pittsburgh night.
Another solo home run here.
Done it again.
The Pirates took this one 6-2. Next up, a date with the St. Louis Cardinals in the National League Division Series.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are on their way to
one of those things. I came over here, wanted to be a piece of the puzzle, wanted to fit in, and these guys, you know, they let me in quick. They let me in. They welcomed me with open arms, and it was so easy to fit in.
It's very difficult, you know, to come down to one game, and especially, the way we played. I mean, we got outplayed big time.
Alan Booknia, TVB News.
National Hockey League is back. Defending Stanley Cup champs, the Chicago Blackhawks got off to a winning start as the new season got underway. First, a treat for the home fans at the United Center. The Blackhawks raised their 2013 championship banner. Then it was down to business as Chicago hosted the Washington Capitals. In the third period, Johnny Oduya snapped a 4-all tie with that blast. The Blackhawks went on to win their season opener 6-4.
And that is a solid wrap of our news. Thanks so much for watching, and good evening, everyone.
Good night.
Good evening. It was sunny and dry today. At 5 p.m., a relatively dry northeast monsoon brought generally fine weather to the South China coast. Today's temperatures range from 25.5 to 31.4 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 52 to 89%. The current temperature is now standing at 28.3 degrees Celsius, and the relative humidity is 47%. So, Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow? It'll be fine and dry tomorrow. Temperatures will range from 24 to 30 degrees. It'll remain fine in the following few days. Tomorrow's API is forecast at 40 to 120, and the air pollution level will range from medium to very high. The maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 9. And now to the latest global weather update. Cloudy in Shanghai and Xiamen, rain in Taipei. Sunny in Guangzhou, bright in Macau, showers in Chengdu. Sunny in Beijing and Seoul, showers in Tokyo. Thunderstorms in Bangkok, rain in Ho Chi Minh City, showers in Manila. Showers in Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta, thunderstorms in Singapore. Bright in New Delhi, sunny in Karachi, rain in Mumbai. Sunny in Cairo, bright in Nairobi. Showers in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne, sunny in Auckland. Cloudy in Toronto, bright in New York. Showers in Vancouver, bright in Los Angeles. Showers in London and Amsterdam, thunderstorms in Paris, cloudy in Frankfurt. And that's the weather. Have a lovely evening.